Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and this is the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, the music podcast on where I interview singers and musicians from genres of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the destination genre of black music right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Legal Shield is a proud sponsor of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Have you been involved in any types of accidents? Have you been a victim of identity theft? Have you been a victim of a computer fraud scam? Have you been in disputes with your tenants or landlords? If your loved one dies and they didn't write up a will for you or for your family, or you and your spouse are filing for divorce, or if you need help by opening up your small business, give Legal Shield a try. Visit their website at LegalShield.com and tell them you heard it here on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Do it today. You'll be glad you did. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., creator and host of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Now, before I bring up my special guest, I have good news to share with you. I have a new website, and you can look for it at the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. That's right, folks. I have a new website called the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. If you have a computer, laptop, notebook, or if you have a desktop computer and it has either MSN or AOL, make sure you type in the name of my podcast website, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. And if you have Google on your smartphone, make sure you type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. That's where you find all of my news blogs, or whatever you want to call it. That's where I tell you what's going to be on the next episode for the entire month. So please check out my website and please pass it on. Make sure you check out my website, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. That's the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. In the meantime, enjoy today's episode and thank you for your support. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show, and we are celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This lady that I'm about to introduce is from Japan. She is a jazz drummer, rhythm coach, producer, and composer. She plays the drums to different genres of music: blues, rock and roll, pop, funk, hip hop, country, and EDM. She has performed with many Grammy nominated artists, including Magic Slim and many others. She has toured all over the world, including Hong Kong, Vietnam, Philippines, Ghana, Japan, UK, the US, and other countries. So please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Miyuki Tani. Konnichiwa, Miyuki.
Konnichiwa. Thank you so much for such a beautiful kind of introduce about me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Now, question. In Japan, how did they say my name, Samuel or Sam, in Japanese?
So I think it's Japanese people can call you Sam or maybe Samiel, Samiel-san.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sam means Mister.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking up some notes and I said, I got to be prepared So in case if we get stuck, so that's why I wanted to ask because
I see.
my podcast is picked up in Japan and China. So when I do my report, I see that I have so many listeners in different countries, including Japan and China. They're tuning in to my podcast. So I'm picked up all around the world. So even though I may not know the language, but they listen to my podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, as always, America doesn't know who you are. The world doesn't know who you are. So, I'm very delighted to have you here on my show. So, let's get started, shall we? Now, let's get to know you a bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your origin story? Where were you born, and what kind of environment did you grow up in?
Okay. Yes. I was born on the west side of Japan. And so about my family, my grandfather, the man, sang every single day of his life. He's singing music like, every day. And just because he loved music that much. And my father had his dream of being a folk musician. He played guitar and he played harmonica and singing. And so my mother, like, she was all about art. Like, she like flower arrangement. It's called ikebana. It's kind of Japanese style flower arrangement. And she likes anything beautiful. And my little brother, like 2 years younger than me, and he was um, obsessed. He was kind of crush on listening with boys two men, the Beatles and Britney Spears, all of it. So I didn't choose music, but I mean music was just already there and all around me and from the very beginning.
Mhm. Now, which high school did you go to?
Yeah, so I went to a local public school in my neighborhood. And honestly, I really wanted to go to a private school, one with a proper music program, but financially that wasn't in the card for my family. So I made it work with what I had. And looking back, I think that taught me something important. Like you find your way regardless. You don't want you don't wait for the perfect conditions.
And which college did you go to, and what was your major in college?
Well, I went to a 2 year entertainment and art school, and it was unlike anything you've ever heard of. And every single teacher was an active, working professional musician, like not retired teachers, like not salary only professors, like they are real musicians in the room with you. And whole curriculum was elective. Like I can choose whatever I want to. So you build your own style and your own path. So I studied composition, digital music, and production, guitar, bass, drums, vocal, chorus, and jazz dance. I have to be real with you, like the dancing was not good, like not good at all. I just always like complicated, like right side, left side. I watch the mirror, the teacher is moving, so I always confusing. But I can play drum.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see the drums in the background.
Yes.
Yes. And when you were young, who did you want it to be when you grow up?
Oh, so um, I wanted to be a you know, like musician when I was 9 years old. But before that, actually, I wanted to be a baseball player. I want to be a pitcher. Like it's kind of that serious. But back then, girls weren't allowed on the team. Only boys in my country, and I could throw the ball further than most of the boys. Yes, but maybe that fire went somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Now, how old were you when you started playing the drums?
Wow, yeah, it's a kind of good question. I have studied play drum 19 years old. Yes, it's actually, which is pretty late, honestly. But I turned professional by 24 years old. It takes just 5 years. And sometimes, a late start just means you are running faster, I think.
Wow. Now that you are a drummer, was being a music drummer your calling?
Without a single doubt, yes.
Now, in Japan, did Japanese radio play some of your favorite American artists?
Yeah, you know, like everywhere I hear the American music in Japan and like TV, radio, all of it. I remember that like Elton John, Stevie Wonder, and Earth, Wind and Fire, Eric Clapton, and Michael Jackson, the Beatles. That music was woven into every day in like the life in Japan. It wasn't like pouring music to us. It was just kind of music, and it belonged to everyone.
Okay. Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite American artists or musicians? You mentioned Elton John and Michael Jackson. Who were some of the others?
So the very first Western music I ever heard was Bon Jovi. Mm, and I think, 5 or 6 years old, and my father handed me a uh, compli- compilation CD,
Hmm.
and he said like, it's time. So at the moment I pressed play,
Hmm.
and I don't know, like something hit me. I couldn't explain it, but Japanese music and this something was completely different for me, and
Hmm.
I felt in I, I felt it kind of my whole body, and that was the moment.
And who were your musical influences that had inspired you?
Oh, right. Yeah, there are so many musicians, but like in Japan, the kind of famous pop band, it's called Mr. Children, and they write these kind of deep and philosophical lyrics with the pop music, and you know yeah, like somehow make them feel like pop song.
Hmm.
And I'm very inspired of them, their kind of philosophical explanation with music. And then like the Led Zeppelin, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Lenny Kravitz, the Majors, Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Radiohead, Jeff Buckley. I could go on, but but here the thing, like with every single one of these artists, the first thing I fall in love with is the drama.
Okay. Now, how would you describe your sound? I can see the drums in the background. How would you describe your sound to some different genres?
Uh-huh. Like it comes from soul, like my soul, pure soul. I mean, not like just the music, the whole thing from like me, my life, my philosophy, like my thinking, like the whole thing. And when I sit just behind the drum kit, I'm reaching for something real and something you feel before you even have word for it.
All right. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, you play the drums to different genres of music: blues, rock and roll, pop, funk, hip hop, country, and EDM. How does your drumming matches those music genres?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Like I can say that um, the like import have a main point is that like breath and air. I mean, I play air. Um, that's kind of everything. I like session, like session drumming. Like we don't know what kind of song we're gonna play. If the band master play some guitar
Hmm.
plays, we follow it. I love that
Hmm.
kind of style, and you know, and I run it. The not only the sound, but also the between the note is most of important to play music.
Hmm.
So every gen has the different kind of feeling in the between the sound between the note. So um, like us, you know, kind of every gen is asking for something like the specific feeling, specific group, and that's in that lives in between the notes. So
Okay.
my job is to listen for what the music needs and deliver it. So, but to do that, you have to play the kind of space between the notes and the silence and the air. That's where the kind of real music lives. So I don't play the drums. I play the music. That's
Hmm.
what I do with
Okay.
like all of the
Hmm.
jam. Yeah,
Hmm. Now, I got a chance to check out your videos on YouTube,
yeah.
including the version of Etta James at Last and music from The Who and AC/DC and you on solo. And speaking of that, I'm subscribed to your channel on YouTube.
Thank
So I
you.
got a chance to check out some of your drumming at other events. Now, please share with our audiences on your music videos and how people will know you, in the background and say, "Who's that girl behind that drum? She drums so good."
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, yeah. So, yeah, thank you. You like watching so closely, and
Mhm.
Yeah, that really means a lot to me. And every single one of these performances, I give like 150%, like my body, my mind, my soul, everything put in the drum performance. And my goal is to just connect with people, connect with you, um, and connect with your soul. So the things that matter most to people, like how do I say, like yeah, the heart and yeah, kindness. That like none of them are visible, but through music we can feel them. Love, kindness, like heart. So through the music we can feel them. Um, we we can discover them for ourselves and for each other. So I would like to connect together with such a like warm feeling through the music.
Now, you got a chance to perform and tour with many artists. I mentioned Magic Slim in the intro, and also Curtis King and the traditional textile band and Baba O'Reilly. What's it like performing with those artists that I just mentioned?
So well, yeah, like every single one, like all improvised, like session, and all real and all unforgettable. But Magic Swing, that was a kind of whole different level for me. And that night before the show, everyone was at the bar nearby and jamming and playing together. And I threw down a drum solo at that bar, and and Magic Swings vice director, like he walked straight to me and he said like, that was fire. I want to see you on the stage with Sri tomorrow. Then he looked me dead in his eye and he said like, but I need to you on that stage with Magic Stream tomorrow, and you need to understand something very important. He doesn't care if you are Japanese, doesn't care if you are woman. If you don't deliver, he will put you off that stage. So, like, you know, you will be embarrassed in front of everyone. You still want to do it? He asked me like that. And I said, yes, before he finished the sentence. Why not?
Mhm.
Didn't think twice. And on the stage, I discovered what perfect sound control kind of actually means. Every single musician, like guitar, bass, Magic Streams guitar, Magic Streams voice, like singing, and the every musician's tone, the length of sound, length of the note, and the dips, the way they cut it off, everything locked together perfectly. So strings kind of his. I see his back. I'm a drummer. I'm sitting on his back, so I feel like his back was saying it loud and clear. Like a drummer doesn't hit drums. A drummer play music, and I didn't need to kind of proud the kit like like the drum solo or something. Like it's just super simple. I just let the beat kind of bless with the music, and the groove took care of everything. And that experience lives in everything I do today. As a producer, composer, arranger, and sound engineering, it's all in there. But, and it's a kind of foundation of the group research I'm developing with associate producer, associate professor from Berkeley College of Music. And that night on stage with Magic Swim changed everything.
Okay. Now, I was reading your bio, and this is your trademark, and I quote: "My mission is to deliver music of such high quality that it can bring about peace in the world. We embrace all the pain, sadness, and suffering, and we assure that everything will be okay." Now, that's a powerful quote. Please share that with us in your own words.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So reading deeply about my mission and my visions. So yeah, music reaches the place words never can, and pain that you can't explain, grief that has no name, and fear that just sit in your chest. But music finds all of it, and it says, "I see you." Like you know, um, sometimes it's music is a mirror. Sometimes music is a hand on your shoulder, and sometimes it's the warmth of someone else who loves you unconditionally. So, um, well, it's kind of my story, but I lost my father when I was very young, and music was the reason I kept going, and it was my hope when I had none left. So, if you're carrying something right now that you can't put into words, this is for you, and everything is going to be okay, and you just need to be here. And I always think I want to connect um, through music with everyone.
Well, first of all, my condolences goes out to you and your loss. And as I always say, music brings people together. It's like we're here talking on this episode. I'm learning more about your culture. You're learning more about my culture. And that's what it should be. Music brings people together. It is the healing force of the world. It unites us, it uplifts us, it inspires us. And that's how music comes in. And your drumming, it relieves you from all the pain. In the words of the late Isaac Hayes, it can make you happy, it can make you laugh, it can make you sad, it can make you cry. And and that is the truth. So music brings people together. Now, on a happier note, you have traveled and toured all around the world. The US, Hong Kong, Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
Philippines, Ghana, and Japan.
Yeah.
Which country that you have performed with in that country have given you a standing ovation?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Like, well, every country brought something kind of incredible, but my first overseas tour, that that one I'll never forget. It's Manchester, England, and a small venue called Night and Day Cafe, and that same stage where Oasis used to play back in the day. So the crowd was just cheering and drinking beer, talking, and having a good time. It's kind of normal night. But the moment we started playing, everyone stood up and dancing and kind of shouting and smiling. And I remember thinking, the word just said yes to me. So I was like 23 or 24 years old and first stage in overseas, and like it was my very first time, yeah, experience. And also I have to tell you that it was my very first time traveling abroad. So I was so nervous that I left my passport at home. Yes, and had to rebook my flight. Cost me a lot of money, and maybe that's exactly why I remember this memory so clearly. That was also like kind of good experience for me.
Mm, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yes, really it is. Now, while you're not on tour, you're also a rhythm coach. Tell me, what is a rhythm coach and what does a rhythm coach do?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, so like what separate world-class artists, world-class musician from everyone else? That the rhythm and groove. So that's it. In music, rhythm is actually more demanding than hitting the right note or melodies, and it has always been incredibly different to teach in words. If you're naturally gifted, like have good ears to listen the deep to listen the kind of rhythm and grooves, so you can develop it on your own. Just listen music and pray, listen music and pray. And but if not, you have to start from ear training, and beyond that, um, what exactly is groove, how a rhythm, beat, and groove constructed, what the difference of beat, rhythm, groove. So yeah, I'm working with associate professor. His name David Cohen from Berklee College of Music. We make this kind of concept and develop a method that takes what the mind understand and brings it into the body. So it's quite specifically a rhythm coach supports people who struggle with rhythm and groove, like for musicians, dancers, like musical theater performers, anyone who age like from age kind of 3 or 5 to adult. So what I focus on the most is this um, group cannot be fully learned from a textbook, and you can analyze it, break it down, but until it lives in your body, um, it isn't real. So my work is about helping people feel it and then own it, and every single time they perform. So, like there are real science to group. There is an art that comes from each person individual character. Unlike musical note, unlike musical note, group doesn't split nearby into right and wrong. I mean, Um, like a slight fraction can create a new gen and new feeling of comfort. So the developing of American music is the perfect example. Like rhythms and grooves from all over the world mixed together in America to create the new music today. Like for example, like jazz gave birth to dance music, funk music, and hip hop, and blues music and country music gave birth to rock and roll and rock. So when you like study rhythm and groove, you learn that difference is not a mistake. Um, it teaches you that when people mix together, something beautiful happens. That is kind of our method and our rhythm coaching.
Okay. Now, since you are a drummer and you have toured with many artists that I mentioned earlier, will you be doing an EP soon? Will it be like a solo drummer or you'll be having like guest musicians on your EP? Will you be working on that soon?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. Like yeah, I have an other artist name. It's called Ikui Minato, which is actually my name, Miyuki Tani, spelled backwards. Yes, and I'm making kind of healing music, instrumental music, and I have like two series running right now. It's using my drumming philosophy uh, put into the Japanese healing music style. So it's called the group healing and Forest hip hop series. The whole concept is a fusion of black music and traditional Japanese healing music, something completely new. And March 7th, I released the track called Woven by Fate. And the beat was made from the sound of a 100-year-old traditional Japanese room machine. And it's very traditional way to make clothes, and they using the room machine. And I like that sound, like psh, 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 psh. And the I use that sound for beat for the and I mean like I layered it into a lo-fi hip hop sound and with a beautiful Japanese piano melody on top.
Mhm.
And it's this song featured at the New York Textile Month event 2024. And that track tells the story of our brand history and evolution, the fate of tradition meeting the future. So I also like incorporate kind of meditation music, um, breathing technique from India and Sri Lanka, and make people's relax and um, you know and focus on their mind. So that's also my new challenge, like using my drumming experience to heal the people deeply. And and these songs are also on my Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and other like music streamings.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that real soon.
Yes.
Now, living or dead, which artist you wish you wanted to meet or to perform with?
Oh, yeah, that's a kind of, happy question. I was thinking about that, and I feel so happy to think about it. So, and there are so many, but if I have to choose just one, I think I want to play with my father. He used to play guitar, so I think, yeah, I want to play with him. But maybe I think the first thing he do is cover his ears because my drumming is so loud. But I think after a moment he'd smile, and yeah, we can talk through the music. That would be kind of my dream.
Okay. Now, here in the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who are the top 10 R&B Black artists of all time. Now, since I have you, Mayuki, we're going to be doing the Black Soul Music Experience top 10 R&B Black artists of all time. Now, here's how it works. We start like a top 10 countdown, like the show America's Top 10, hosted by the late Casey Kasem. So he'll start at the bottom five, which
Mhm.
was the best artist, but didn't get any recognition. In other words, they were on a major record label, but their album didn't get marketed or promoted like it's supposed to. When we get to the top five, we're going to find out who is the million selling artist of all time. Did that artist receive those top 10 number one hits? Did that artist receive an album or a song that went gold, platinum, double platinum, triple platinum, or today's diamond platinum? Did that artist receive a Grammy or an American Music Award or a Soul Train Award or an MTV VMA Award or a BET Award? Or did that artist performed on American Bandstand or Soul Train or the Midnight Special or NBC's Saturday Night Live or Solid Gold? Or did they have their own music video which was either aired on BET or MTV or VH1? Or did they have their own primetime special, whether it was aired on CBS or NBC or ABC? Or did they have their special on PBS, whether it's great performances or the regular special during Pledge Month? Or did they have their live concert special either aired on HBO or Showtime? So, Mayuki, are you ready to take the challenge? And if you get stuck, I'll help you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to start at the bottom five, which will be from 10, and we'll go up to number six. So, who should be at number 10?
So um, I choose the band called the Meters. So I I love them so much. Like the most people don't know their name, but every musician knows their group, like us, Wind and Fire, Prince, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. They all felt the meters, and that is the definition of influence.
Okay, the Meters. Okay, I've heard a
Yeah.
couple of their instrumentals, but that didn't get any recognition. So, we'll put the group The Meters at number 10. Who
Mhm.
should be at number 9?
So I go Muddy Waters. He, um, you know, they he also like the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, everyone. They all come from Muddy Waters, and I performed with Magic Stream, who carried that kind of same Chicago blues spirit, and I felt it on the stage.
Okay, we'll put blues legend Muddy Waters at number 9. He had a few hits, but not that much top 10 hits, in blues. So we'll put blues singer the late Muddy Waters at number 9. Who should be at number 8?
So it's jazz musician called Billie Holiday, and yes, like she was the first artist who made me fall in love with jazz, and she sang pain like nobody else. She lived it, she felt it, and she gave it all to us. And a true legend who deserved so much more, I think.
Yes, the late Billie Holiday. She was known back then as Lady Day. That was her nickname because she wore a flower,
Mm,
and that was her trademark, Lady Day. She's best known for her controversial song called Strange Fruit.
yes,
And this was at a time when racism was still going on back in the 30s and 40s. And she was still performing, and yes, she did had a troubled life because I saw the movie Lady Sings the Blues back in 1972 that starred Diana Ross, who played the role of Billie Holiday. Now, I didn't know anything about Billie Holiday, but when I saw the movie and then some commercials had some LPs about Billie Holiday, and then one time I saw The Sound of Jazz that was aired on CBS. I saw it at the Paley Museum, and yeah, you can see her face. You can see she went through all of that pain and everything, the drug addiction, everything that really took a toll on her. So, and yes, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2004. So we'll put Lady Day, Billie Holiday, at
yeah,
number 8. Who should be at number 7?
yes. So I go with D'Angelo, and yeah, D'Angelo. He is from Virginia, like my local. I live in Virginia, so and when I first heard him in high school student, like yeah, I was high school student. I felt like I was under a spell. Like it's kind of magic. His music was kind of magic for me, and I covered his songs on drums so many times. And but he disappeared for 14 years and then come back, and I think that is what real artist does.
Oh, yes. D'Angelo at number 7, representing Neo Soul. When I first saw him in a music video back in 1995, his debut song called Brown Sugar, he was playing on that Hammond organ, and he had some other tunes, including the remake of Smokey Robinson's Cruisin' and many other tunes. But then in the end of the 90s going into 2000, I saw the music video and he was stripped naked for the first time. It was that song called How Does It Feel? That was the first time we all saw him naked in that music video. So I was like, whoa. Yeah, I mean, he did it all. So anyway, he did it all. So rest in peace to neo soul artist, the late D'Angelo. All right, who should be at number 6?
So number 6, Danny Hardaway, and he's one of the most heartbreaking stories in music. The most beautiful voice and the very deepest soul, and the world, the world like lost him too soon. And every time I listen to him, I kind of cry. So I choose him for number 6.
Okay, the late Donny Hathaway representing Chicago, Illinois. He came on the scene back in 1969 with his song called The Ghetto from his LP Everything is Everything on Atlantic's Atco label. He's best remembered for doing some songs that are very soulful, not only soulful, but had an uplifting songs and message. Everything, just like you said, it makes you cry. One of the songs that I got a chance to listen to is Thank You, Master, for My Soul. I mean, it's like a gospel tune right there. And you can hear it from his voice, his deep, low voice,
Yeah.
and all those tunes. But he'll be best remembered for teaming up with the late Roberta Flack for a couple of their LPs, including Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway with their versions of You Got a Friend, and also their original song Where Is the Love. And also they had some other tunes, including The Closer I Get to You, number one on Billboard Soul Singles Charts back in April of 1978. And the last appearance was back in 1980, early 1980, with their final album, Roberta Flack featuring Donny Hathaway.
Mhm.
Although we've lost them back in the spring of 1979, and a couple of tracks were done. The album was completed, released back in the spring of 1980. They had songs including Back Together Again and You Are My Heaven. So everything is all soulfully good. So rest in peace to Mr. Donny Hathaway at number 6. All right, who should be at number 5? Top 5 now.
Top five now. Yes. So number five, I go with Lenny Kravitz, and he proved that one person can do everything, write, produce, and play every instrument, and still make you feel it in your soul. And he and his drummer, Cindy Blackman, are my heroes. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Lenny Kravitz, when he came on the scene back at the mid, late 80s, he was known for his long dreads.
Mhm.
And when I saw him, who is this guy wearing them long dreads? And then he's known for his hits, including Let Love Rules and his version of Give Peace a Chance. And then by 1991, he had his first love ballad calling Baby Ain't Over Till It's Over. That was the first love ballad that I have loved. And then after that, he got rid of the dreads and grew his hair afro type. And he did his version, the remake of the Guess Who's American Woman and his original song, What's It Get In? And yeah, just to name a few. So he's influenced by, soft rock and many other artists. And he is also a songwriter. He co wrote the song called Justify My Love for Madonna. And that was the music video that we wasn't supposed to see. And that was put on the special VHS tape. So Lenny Kravitz wrote the song for Madonna. So we'll put Mr. Lenny Kravitz at number 5. Who should be at number 4?
So number four, James Brown. Um,
Ah, yes, the godfather of soul,
yeah, the
Mr.
Godfather.
James Brown, came on the scene back in the late 50s with his debut song called Please, Please, Please. And that was his first debut in 1956. And then he got into the 60s with some other hits, including Prisoner of Love, I Got, I Feel Good.
Yeah.
and and then he got into the late 60s with some social issues. And best known in the 70s, for his backup band, best known for his riffs and all the beats. And yes, hip hop was influenced by
Yes.
James Brown
Yes.
for all the beats and everything. And yes, Michael Jackson and Prince, they were both influenced by James Brown for his splits and everything in between. So he kept on performing during the 70s and 80s and 90s. He made some guest appearances in the movie The Blues Brothers. That was back in 1980, and then part two in 1998. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1986. So rest in peace to the godfather of soul, Mr. Dynamite, the hardest working man in show business, Mr. James Brown at number 4. Who should be at number 3?
So number three, I go with Stevie Wonder, and he doesn't just write songs; he writes rap, and every note he plays comes straight from something greater than all of us.
Yes, the Wonder Man, Mr. Stevie Wonder, made his debut back in 1963 on the Motown label with a song called Fingertips. And he played everything. He plays the harmonica, he plays the
Mm-hmm.
bongos, he plays the drums. And he's best known for his top 10 number one hits, including My Sharia Moore, For Once in My Life, and then by 1970, he changed course. He was singing a song Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. He did his version of the Beatles' We Can Work It Out. And then by 1972, he changed course. He started writing and producing and arranging. He got into some social issues with his LP called Inner Visions in 1973. Best known for his top 10 hit Living for the City, that was dealing with systematic racism. And his other song called Too High, that didn't become a hit, but it was a song that's dealing with drug addiction. He had other songs, including You Haven't Done Nothing, and also he had some other lively hits, including Isn't She Lovely, and
Mm.
his other tunes, including Master Blaster Jammin' from his LP, Hotter Than July. That song was in tribute to the late Bob Marley. And his album, Hotter Than July, that LP was dedicated to the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He wrote the song called Happy Birthday. So when you go to the clubs or everybody's celebrating their birthday, they don't want to be playing that old Happy Birthday to you. They want that
Mhm.
Happy Birthday Stevie Wonder song. That's what get them up and everything. So he's always been there. Not only he was a singer and songwriter, but he was also an activist by making Dr. King Day a national holiday. And when President Reagan signed the bill in 1983, we had to wait until 3 years until it became official, 1986. He participated with USA for Africa, We Are the World, number one hit on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts and also on the R&B Black Singles charts in 1985. He teamed up with Dionne Warwick with their song called That's What Friends Are For, number one on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts and on the R&B Black Singles charts. And the proceeds from the song went to the American Foundation for AIDS Research that was founded by the late actress Elizabeth Taylor. And yeah, he won an Oscar for that song, I Just Call to
Yeah.
Say I Love You. That was from the movie The Woman in Red, starring the late Gene Wilder. And he won it all. He won Grammys, he won an
Mm-hmm.
American Music Award, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1989, and a Kennedy Center honoree for the class of 1999. So we'll put the Wonder Man, Mr. Stevie Wonder, at number 3. Who should be at number 2?
So number two, I go with Michael Jackson, and the greatest performer who ever lived. And every single element, the voice, the dance, the group was perfect. And it feels like he gathered all the groups from around the world and cooked them into something beautiful. So I choose him for number two.
Yes, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, came on the scene in 1969 with his brothers, that includes Jermaine, Jackie, Tito, and Marlon. They all came on the scene with their debut hit, I Want You Back. It was from their debut LP, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, released back in the fall of 1969. Their number one hit, I Want You Back, was at Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts back in January 1970. They had some other songs followed, including ABC, The Love You Save, Never Can Say Goodbye, Dancing Machine, and other tunes. And during on solo, Michael did a couple of solo albums for Motown too, including Got to Be There and his other solo LP, The Theme from Ben, that's the soundtrack LP, and his other solo LP, Forever Michael, that includes the song Just a Little Bit of You. And then after, when Michael and his brothers left Motown for CBS Records, although Jermaine didn't go, but they took Randy with them. They switched over to CBS Records. They had their song and they had to rename themselves as the Jacksons back in 1976. And at the same year, they had their own summer variety series also on CBS. So they had to bring their sisters with them. So they had hits including Enjoy Yourself, Let Me Show You the Way to Go. And they had other tunes, including Shake Your Body Now Down to the Ground and many other tunes. At the same time, Michael had some solo hits as well. His breakout LP, Off the Wall, produced by Quincy Jones, biggest seller ever. Had tunes Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Off the Wall, and Rock With You, just to name a few. And then his second LP, Thriller, million seller, top 10 hits, including You Wanna Be Starving Something and Thriller, The Girl Is Mine, duet with Paul McCartney, Billie Jean, number one on Billboard's R&B Black Singles charts back in April 1983 for 10 weeks. And he performed on the Motown 25th anniversary special back in May of 1983 on NBC. When I saw him doing the moonwalk, I saw him wearing those sparkle glove and the sparkle socks and the loafers. Everybody in the audience was going nuts and everything. So Michael Jackson have done it all, and his other LP, Bad, that was a million seller too. Had songs including The Way You Make Me Feel and Dirty Diana and The Man in the Mirror. That's a social song right there. And yes, his other album, Dangerous, his songs including Black and White, Remember the Time, and Dangerous, just to name a few. So he'll be best remembered for those music videos, which lasted for 15 minutes. When I saw that music video, Thriller, for 15 minutes, it had cameo appearances by Ola Ray and narrated by the late Vincent Price, directed by John Landis. And his other music video called Bad, it was directed by Martin Scorsese, and it had an upcoming actor, Wesley Snipes. And they shot that music video in the Bed-Stuy section of Brooklyn, New York, at a subway station. And then another video that I saw, Black and White, 15 minutes. That was aired on Fox, prime time. Cameo appearances by the late George Wendt, Tess Carper, Macaulay Culkin, and we saw a glimpse of Tyra Banks in that music video, directed by John Landis. 15 minutes. I saw the whole music video, including that that he was doing, the crotch scene, and then they had to tone it down when they got to the other platforms. And yes, Remember the Time, that too was aired on Fox, directed by the late John Singleton. Cameo appearances by Iman, Eddie Murphy, and former basketball player Magic Johnson. I mean,
Yes.
he's best known for that. And yes, Justin Timberlake, Usher, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they got their influence from Michael Jackson, from
Yeah.
all his tunes, and Chris Brown too. All that the dancing and the rips and everything.
Yeah.
So we put Michael Jackson. He got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice in 1997 with his brothers and on solo in 2001. His final song was This Is It. This was the concert movie, and we lost him back in June of 2009. So rest in peace to the king of pop, Mr. Michael Jackson. All right, we're up to number one.
Yes. So the number one is Earth, Wind, and Fire. So yes, for me, like the song called September was the first song I ever played all the way through on drums. And the groove, the energy, the soul, like everything was perfect to run what drums truly do for great music. And
Yes,
yes,
Earth, Wind, and Fire, number one, founded by the late Maurice White back in 1969. They had some tunes back in the early 70s, including I'm Thinking About Loving You. That was a song that I didn't know. I only knew the songs for their other hits when they switched over to CBS Records. They had songs including Evo, Keep Your Head to the Sky, Mom, and That's the Way of the World, Mighty Mighty, September, Boogie Wonderland, Side by Side. Yes, everything turns into gold. They've won a couple of Grammys, American Music Awards, got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2000. And yes, they're known for their wardrobes and everything. I've seen a couple of their music videos back then, but they'll be best remembered for that little African music, that little kalimba. So you got to use
yeah.
your
Uh-huh.
thumbs in order to listen to it. So they would be best known for that. So they're still performing today, although we've lost Maurice White and some other members, but the whole band is still touring today. So we put Earth, Wind, and Fire at number one. So there we have it. We have the Black Soul Music Experience top 10 R&B Black artists of all time. Well, Mayuki, it's been a pleasure talking with you on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. So I should say in Japanese, aragatu.
Arigato.
Oh, I got it right. Yes, yes. So,
Yes.
I'm learning. I'm learning, different languages. So I said I had
Wow.
to start learning these things in order to get on to interview you on my show. Again, it's been a pleasure. And when your project comes out, please come on back. I always like to uh, back some people. So you're welcome to come on back. So we'd love
Wow.
to have you
Yeah, I
back.
should. Yeah, I really want to. And so, like, and my information, you can find me on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just search Miyuki Tani, Miyukitani, and drama, Miyuki Tani drama. And I would love to connect with every single one of you. And if you want to experience the hearing like music, like the group hearing music, which we like make, which we like discovered. So
Yes.
yeah, and I also drum performance coming up this year in maybe in Tokyo and here in DC. Stay tuned. And yeah, and I really enjoyed your lecture. And like before I go, I wanted to say something like music lives through people, and the sound alone is not enough. and it needs a human being to carry it. So to pass it on, to keep it alive. And what you do on this podcast is not just an entertainment, and you are connecting souls, like musicians and listeners, and you're making sure that the spirit of Black music, like the pain, the joy, the groove, the love, never gets lost. And that is the mission. And I respect it deeply. And please keep going. And I'm cheering for you with all my heart. And I keep listening to your radio. And I really want to come back again.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Even though I was on radio back then, now I'm bringing it all to my podcast. And just like you said, my mission is to interview a diversity of singers who were influenced by Black music from the US to Canada to the UK to the Middle East to the Far East. So a couple of singers, including this singer from Iran, she subscribed to my channel. And just like you, I'm subscribed to your channel. So this is how music is. As I said earlier, music brings people together. It
Yes.
unites us, it uplifts us, it inspires us.
Right.
And that's the communication. And yes, as Sting would always say, save the music, music education equals brain power. And
Right.
that's very important. So again, I thank you for being here. And yes, I will be checking out your LPs real soon.
Oh,
And
thank
good
you.
luck to everything. Now, download all of the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. Make sure you follow Miyuki Tani. Look for her on Instagram. I'm following her on Instagram. Look for her on Facebook and LinkedIn. And make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel. Check out all of her videos, all of her drumming, and different performances, and where she had performed with so many musicians that we've mentioned here on this episode. So make sure you subscribe to her channel on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Look for me on these 5 platforms. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And the link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget the DS at the end, -studio. And I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you have a hard time getting on to riverside.fm, then please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast number 6. And all you have to do, if you have a computer, put in your email address and your password and go to the Patreon homepage where you see all of the Patreon shows done by different creators. Make sure you go to the search box and type in the Black Soul Music Experience podcast number 6, where you can check out all of my audio and video podcast episodes and video podcast clips that you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on to Patreon, that I will be posting this episode on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. All you need to do, go to the YouTube homepage, go to the search box, and type in the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. If you like this episode, if you love my podcast, please subscribe, please support, please give me a thumbs up, please leave a comment, and please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners and viewers like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Look for my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And don't forget the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s-studio. And don't forget to check out my audio and video podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Go to facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. You can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66, and follow me on Instagram at SAMM.Y2980. As always, partying, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care. God bless. Thanks for listening. Have a good week, and please be safe.